Hey, what's going on, guys? So I went out and I bought a lawn edger. Never gotten to use an edger before, but I'm really excited about it. I just got back from the hardware store, put it together, got the gas in it, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try, see how well it works. So one of the things I've been working on is installing this lawn edge. I really just want to have a nice edge between the lawn and the garden bed area where the bushes are. I'm going to put down some beauty bark once this thing is complete. But I've been going along with the shovel and the scraper, just, a couple feet at a time. These are only 3 feet long, so I've just been doing, a couple feet, and then I'll install one, a couple more feet, I'll install another one. But with the new edger, I'm thinking it'll be a lot easier for me to just go along and cut my edge in advance and then install all of the dividers afterwards. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up just so you guys can see as I go along with the new edger and get everything nice and trimmed out. So let's do that. Fire back up. So I went ahead, I got all the lines cut out. I kind of like to have a, not straight, I like my curves. I like my yard to have some curves in it. So I cut my line in. I'll just go along, I'll pick all this grass out that's on the other side. Probably gonna have to put a little bit of dirt down right around here, because the lawn edge that I got, the divider that I got, will probably just fall off if I don't put a little bit of raise right here. But I really tried to get it so that I actually might have to cut back in. I want my divider to line up with this step, so I'm actually going to go ahead and grab the edger again and recut. This edger is great. I mean, it is a brand new tool. I expect it to work well, but that made my work like 20 times faster. So you can see I got my edge cut in. I went off a little bit right here, just enough space. You can see the lawn dividers are about 2-3 inches wide. I'll actually go grab one right now and set it in place, just to show you guys what I'm going for. Got a whole pile of them right here, and I love the way these look. They have a guided spot so that your lawnmower, when you're mowing, the wheel just lines right up in to the edge. You get an easy mow. I already have one installed right here. I'm still working on the yard, trying to get everything into ship shape. basically this guy is gonna go right into this space, just like that, right? And we'll keep it just on that step so that we have nice square lines. Everything lines up perfectly. These are pretty flexible. It's perfect for my idea of having curves in my yard. But look at that line. I just went along, it only took me a couple minutes. It looks great. Alright, so now that the lawn edge is cut, I'm gonna pick up all of the debris. Alright, so there we go, guys. I cut the edge, and then I went along and I weeded out all the grass in the places where it's not supposed to be, and I think it looks pretty clean. So I'm going to continue this line that I've set up. That'll go all the way around, and hopefully right over here where it ends on the stairs, I think I'm gonna try and rake all this extra dirt over to this section right here, because it is kind of low. I think I can get a better angle on it actually, so you can see it's more level there, and then it kind of slopes down right over here. And I'm just worried that once I install the lawn edge, it will sort of fall off. So I'm gonna go grab a rake. Alright, so now that my lawn edge is cut out, and I have a place to install my little barriers, my landscape edge. Went and picked these up from Lowe's, and each one is 4 feet long. You know, even though they say that they're really easy to install, they're not. Sorry, Rubberific, but you guys should probably do a better job at boring out the connectors. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop one of these open, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So you can see there's these 2 holes, and what those are for is you take these 2 little pieces of plastic and they insert into these holes so that you can combine as many of these in a row as you need to. The problem that I've run into is that the holes are not completely bored out, so when I go to push these pieces of plastic in, they will snap in half from the pressure of trying to push them into place. So what I do to fix that is I have an ice pick. It's a nice pointed sharp piece of metal. I go ahead and place that right in like that, and then try and get this on camera. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to have this in place, and I'm just going to pound it into each hole. Make sure that there's enough room to actually install these smoothly instead of having to put up a fight trying to push them together. I tell you what, even after doing this and boring a space so that these will fit in better, it's still pretty difficult to get the plastic pieces to install. However, I really love the way that these lawn edges work and function. You know, they have that space right here where your lawnmower will just, the wheel guides right into that, and you get a nice mow without having to veer off of the edge of your lawn and go too deep. So that's one side. As you can see, I drove the screwdriver pretty deep in there. It makes it really easy. I just pull this out. And then do the other side. I always like to pre-open the holes. I want to say drill, but it's not drilling. We're just opening up the space so that there's better work room. Go ahead and pound that in. And I'm really glad that there's not 6 of these on each one, it's just 4. So again, just like that. Got it pounded nice in there. Go ahead and yank it out. And you want to make sure that you install the side with the, has a spot right there for you to tap these stakes through so that it pins to the ground. So That means that I need to put on this side. And see, those go in so much easier. I broke a couple of them when I was first installing, and I figured if I break too many of these, it's not going to work. I'm just not going to have enough to finish my project. Now that we got it all situated, we'll connect the new one to the already installed line. And like I said, it's not the easiest thing to install these. But just squeeze them together like that. And there we go. See? Get a nice new section installed. I'm going to go ahead and position it nice and snugly against my edged line that I have in the lawn. And then we'll take the stakes, and I leave the one on the end bare just because I want to have enough wiggle room to lift it up and install the next one. So I'm only going to put in, you can see I'm installing the one on the end of the previous one right now. And I just hit a rock. So we're going to go ahead and pull that guy out. If you hit a rock, it's not a big deal. You can always just try and drive these in at an angle, which is what I'm going to end up doing with this one right here. And we just went right past the rock, went right in just nice. We can move on to the next one. The area that I live in tends to have a lot of rocks in the ground. So depending on where you live, working around the rocks is definitely going to be something that you may or may not have to deal with. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see we got it installed nice. There's a small amount of gap right there, but not too bad. Nothing too noticeable from a distance. You know, all of them sort of have that little gap in there. But basically we just go along how I just showed you. You bore out the holes on the ends. This one's already bored out, so once I open up another pack, I'll go ahead and pierce through all 4 holes, link them together, and then I leave the last one unstaked until it is linked to the next one. And then once they're linked together and everything's set into place, I can put my 3 stakes in and continue from there until I finish the entire lawn. So a little long explanation, but I'm going to do a time lapse of me installing all of these so it doesn't take 4 hours to show you how to install this.